違うな。この男が戦うのは誰も戦わなくていいようにするためだ。
何？
自分一人が闇に落ちたとしても誰かを笑顔にしたい、そう信じてる。こいつが人の笑顔を守るなら俺はこいつの笑顔を守る。知ってるか、こいつの笑顔悪くない。
Alright, hello people of the internet, and welcome back to another exciting review of Midwest Tokusatsu's Toku Toy Time. I am Brock, and this week we are taking a look at the Final Form Ride 01 KuugaGouram. That's right, this is the Final Form Ride figure for Kamen Rider Kuuga and his turning into the Gouram insect bug thing. I'm watching Kuuga, I like Kuuga, this thing is cool to me, and I hate insects, but oh well! So, let us first begin by taking a look at the packaging for this figure. As you can see, nice photo of the Final Form Ride figure itself. Up here you do have the card as it's displayed in the packaging. I'll just be showing you the Super Best card, leaving this one in here as the Super Best and this are identical, except for this is paper and the other one is a, printed plastic. On the top you do have another photo of the KuugaGouram figure. You have the Kuuga logo in the background, telling you what its name is, more of the name. On the side of the box you have Kuuga and his Final Form Ride in the back. On this side you have the swap. On the back you do have, hey, I turn into this, and there's my card, and I interact with Decade, and I interact with the Deca driver, and here's a photo of all of us, and the Gamba Ride machines, and many other things that I can't read, but that's okay because it's a box, and we don't really care about the box other than, hey, it's a box. Oh, and that's the bottom, but box! We're done with the box. Let's talk about the figure. Here he is, Kamen Rider Kuuga! Let's lower it down just a little so you can see it. So, alright, here he is, Kamen Rider Kuuga, and I have to say, first and foremost, that this is a fantastic representation of Kuuga. It does a great job of blending both the Final Form Ride aspect and just Kuuga as a whole into the figure. So, let's first talk about the aesthetics and get a close-up of the head sculpt here. As you can see, focus, there we go. It is a wonderfully detailed head sculpt. You have great detail in the mouth. You have wonderful piercing eyes, nice red, nice gold flake. It's just, it's a perfect head sculpt for Kuuga. Just great. And then you can come down to the chest. You do get a lot of good detail. Now, again, like I was saying in my last review with Decade, kind of lost some of the details just because everything was black. Here, all that detail in red sticks out fantastic. You do have some orange down here, gold running across the top. The shoulder pads are wonderful. You don't get any detail in the actual bicep area, but that's fine. You come down, some good detail in the wrist cuffs. Hands look wonderful. Legs, beautiful. Now, of course, you do get some of the Final Form Ride stuff just having to stick out because of how the figure works, but that's okay. You do have, unfortunately, these that stick out on the back no matter what, but again, it has to do two things at once, so you got to make some sacrifices. You do have a giant hole in the back. Giant hole, so you'll have to deal with that. But if you're going to display him just in his Kamen Rider form, you can get plenty out of just displaying them like this. But quickly run through articulation as well. You do have a nice ball joint at the top. No inhibitions at all, unfortunately. Oh, wait, no. Ah! Yep, showing off things before I do it. This is not a ball joint. This is just a swivel. I thought it was a ball joint. I thought I had posability. Shows you what I know. It's my toy, and I don't even know that it's not a ball joint. Oh, well. You don't get anything at the waist with this guy. Again, transformation reasons. The shoulders are very nice, though. You do get full range outward. You do get 360 going around. You have a rotation just above the elbow. You have 90 degrees of bend from the arm. You do have rotation swivel. You do have fingers. It's the typical 2 fingers move at a time. You get motion with the legs. It's better than most. You do get forward motion, You don't really get backwards motion. You do get good motion with the knees, almost 90, just at. And with the feet, you get some forward motion. You get all the way back motion to the point where it pops out if you go too far. And you do get some ankle tiltage just because it's a ball joint. So plenty to do there. So that's pretty much Kuuga as a figure by himself. Now then, you do get one accessory with this, and this helps in the transformation. So this is the basic form of the bug, and this sits on his back as a backpack. So to do that, you just line up. There's the, port sticking way out. You've got a post right in there. Just line them up. And, there we go. Married them together. Then you take the feet and you rotate them around the arcile. I think it's arcile. It's that. It's something. But either way, you wrap it around, and then, it still doesn't look bad with it on the back. You can pose it just fine as a Kamen Rider this way. If anything, it kind of looks like he's about to go Kuuga's mighty form in Rising. Because it's Rising? What is the form when it goes extra gold on the mighty form? I think that's Rising. Either way. So that is Kuuga now with the backpack. Obviously, you kind of see it above his head, but it is what it is. At least it covers up the hole. So that is Kuuga as a figure. Now, just as some comparisons before we transform him, here he is with Decade, with The End, Kiva, and Den-O, everyone we've reviewed so far. And as you can see, they look really great all in just Kamen Rider form. So that's honestly how I display them. I don't really leave any of them in their final form ride modes. I love displaying them as the actual Kamen Rider figures because they just look beautiful next to each other and together. So put these guys off to the side. Boom. All off to the side. Now, the last thing you get before we go into Final Form Ride mode, I swear I know what I'm talking about. It just doesn't come out the way I want it to. The last thing you do get in the packaging, as you saw earlier, is the card. This is, again, the Super Best card. It's exactly the same, but this is just a hard plastic. And for those that don't know, Deca driver, open, card in.
Final Form Rider.
And there you go. So with that, I think this is going to tickle. Beep. Alright, so I told you I'm going to do it every time. Every time. So transformation on this guy. How do we start? Well, what I do first is remove the backpack. So you take that off, and now you're going to take his head, kind of get the arms just out of the way for putting the backpack on, and fold it down just like that. Now reattach the backpack, lining up that post and peg. And then you take the arms and rotate them behind, so have them standing up, and take these portions, flip them up and over the fists just like that. Now you can kind of mess with the fists and have them in a few different orientations. I think that if you have it like this, it ends up looking the cleanest from any angle, where you have the hands open and rotated as such. So that's how I do it. But really you can play with it to your liking. But just fold them both up, and then you kind of just bend them so that you get the little L thing. Then with the feet, you just kind of, how he had them before was around the belt, now you just face them away from the belt. Boom, done there. Lastly, you come to the actual legs of Kuuga. You rotate, bring down the foot, and then you just kind of bring it in like that. Same thing on the other side. So rotate, bring down the foot, bend out, bend in, and there you go. You have KuugaGouram form. So I think this is actually a very good representation of, or homage I should say, to the actual Gouram bug, where it would kind of fold around his Beat Chaser 2000 and then form into the actual bug otherwise. And I think this does a good job of that. It can open up, so you do get a faux wing effect and buzz around. You do get some nice detail, actually, when that's opened up, too. Get in there so you can see it. Nice molded in detail. The gold works really well. The eyes are nice and piercing. And when it's in this form, it doesn't really distract from the fact you don't think that it was a Kamen Rider before that. You flip it over. Obviously, he's doing a weird yoga pose or ballet and somehow managed to dislocate his head. But from this side and from how you'd be seeing it, it looks just fine. Now, the interaction that he has with Kamen Rider Decade, of course, is that you can bring in the base that comes with Decade, and there's a post sticking out of the top, and you just line it up with the hole, which I fail at. There we go. So now, Decade has a spot to stand, and you can bring him in, pose him on top, so that he's riding it. Yeah, hold it. I can do this. I can do this while the camera is rolling. I promise you. Alright. Well, boom, boom. There we go. There we go. So there you go. You have Decade riding on Gouram for the final attack ride. So, works really well, the interaction. Just very simple, very nice. I like it. So we'll put Decade off to the side now, get rid of his little base. And we'll come to my final thoughts on this figure. I think he is perfect. I think that Kuuga in the show kind of got gypped. He was really important in the Kiva episode, obviously in the Kuuga's episodes, but after the first, 4 episodes, he's just background noise until Agito. So the character in the show gets gypped, but his figure did not. That's the important part. I think his figure comes out great. I think the transformation is very simple. It's nice, but it's not overly simple where, I do 1, 2 things. It's satisfying. That's what it is. And again, it's just a great representation of how the character should look. So I think that about wraps it up for this review. If you like what you saw, though, and you want more, please click that subscribe button. Like, comment, share, and favorite the video. And if you want to see a specific review, comment below. I will have links for where you can purchase this item, as well as where you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, all in the description. Once again, this has been Brock of Midwest Tokusatsu's Toku Toy Time, and we are out.
Next time on Toku Toy Time.